On February 11th, 1990, in a packed Tokyo Dome buzzing with anticipation, an underdog named Buster Douglas stepped into the ring with one goal: to challenge the unbeatable. The world watched in disbelief as the odds, set at 42-1, were defied when Douglas stunned the boxing community by knocking out the mighty Mike Tyson. It was a night that redefined what was possible in the sport, forever altering the landscape of heavyweight boxing. Douglas, a man considered by many merely a stepping stone, rose to the occasion and pulled off one of the most shocking upsets in sports history. This fight wasn't just about glory, but it also held deeper personal stakes for Douglas, who faced immense pressure from his past and the weight of expectations. Growing up in Columbus, Ohio, under the shadow of his father, a fierce professional fighter, Douglas embodied resilience and determination. His journey led him through the ranks, battling self-doubt, adversity, and a public that had often dismissed him as a serious contender. Yet, this night would mark the culmination of his dreams and years of hard work, solidifying his place in boxing lore. But while stripes of victory painted a bright picture, the aftermath would reveal the harsh realities of fame and the challenges that lay ahead. His story is not merely that of triumph, but also of struggle in and out of the ring. What happened after that fabled night is as significant as the victory itself, weaving a tale of resilience, redemption, and the complexities of a boxer's life beyond the spotlight. The Unforgettable Night. On February 11th, 1990, the boxing world witnessed an event that would resonate through history as the underdog, Buster Douglas, entered the ring in Tokyo, Japan, to face the undefeated heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson. The anticipation was palpable, with over 40,000 fans filling the arena, their breath held in expectation. Douglas, a fighter who had struggled to gain recognition, found himself as the focal point of everyone's attention, stepping up against a man widely considered invincible and a fighter who terrorized his opponents with speed and ferocity. In the build-up to the match, the odds were stacked heavily against Douglas, who was viewed as merely a stepping stone for Tyson's continued dominance in the ring. The betting lines, set at 42-1, reflected their doubts, but what emerged was a stunning exhibition of courage and skill. As the bell rang, Douglas came out with a determination that had rarely been seen before. He utilized his jab to keep Tyson at a distance, frustrating the champion, while landing clean shots that sent shockwaves through the audience. Round after round, Douglas dictated the fight, showcasing a level of focus and resilience that surprised everyone. Tyson, once seen as an unstoppable force, began to falter, and the momentum shifted dramatically. By the 8th round, the unthinkable happened. Douglas knocked down Tyson, causing the world to erupt in shock and disbelief. For a fighter who had long been in the shadows, this was the moment he seized his destiny, forever remembered as a night when dreams collided with reality to create an unforgettable spectacle that changed the landscape of boxing. A fighter's roots. Buster Douglas's journey as a fighter began in Columbus, Ohio, where he was born on April 7th, 1960. Growing up in a boxing household, under the watchful eye of his father, Bill Douglas, a tough, no-nonsense professional fighter, Buster was surrounded by the sport. However, his childhood wasn't solely defined by boxing. As a tall and athletic teenager, he initially found his passion on the basketball court, where he excelled enough to attract attention. He played at Coffeyville Community College in Kansas and even had aspirations to further his basketball career at Messias University. But destiny had other plans for him, as he ultimately realized that basketball wouldn't lead him to greatness. While the world saw potential in his basketball skills, his father's influence loomed large, putting pressure on Buster to embrace boxing as his path in life. It was this complex relationship with his father that inspired the young fighter to step into the ring, despite wrestling with self-doubt. The harsh expectations weighed heavily on Buster's shoulders, He needed to prove himself worthy of the Douglas name. Yet, this familial pressure also sparked a fire within him, pushing him to make the transition into the boxing world, a sport where resilience and determination would be his greatest weapons. As he trained, Buster learned that fighting was not just about physical strength, but also about the emotional battles fought inside and outside the ring. His upbringing, marked by both love and scrutiny, laid the foundation for the champion he would eventually become. The rise to glory. In the early 1980s, Buster Douglas began his ascent in the boxing world, capturing attention initially for his height and reach at 6 feet 4 inches and his unyielding spirit, although he often wrestled with inconsistency. Fighting in an era dominated by legends, he faced considerable challenges, yet he showed glimpses of brilliance. After turning professional in 1981, Douglas faced both seasoned opponents and rising challengers, gradually building a respectable record, his size and skills making him a tough opponent. However, doubts lingered around his mental toughness, as he often faltered in key moments, stemming from a complicated relationship with his father, Bill Douglas, a seasoned fighter himself, who never truly believed in Buster's potential. This doubt fueled Buster's determination, but weighed heavily on his confidence. His opportunity for redemption came with a hard-fought victory over former contender Greg Page in 1986. It was a moment that reignited hope, yet it still took more than just physical skill to rise to the top. The fight against Tyson was approaching, and with it, a rare chance to showcase both his skill and heart. As he trained for this monumental bout, Douglas was not merely preparing for a fight. He was preparing to prove to himself, his father, and the naysayers that he possessed the heart of a champion. On that fateful night in Tokyo, the culmination of years of struggle, sacrifice, and unyielding spirit would finally come to fruition, forever changing his destiny and making him a part of boxing history, albeit in a way no one ever expected. The collapse after the upset. The victory over Mike Tyson was, to many, the pinnacle of James Buster Douglas's career. However, the days following that incredible night in February 1990 saw the stark reality unfold. The newfound fame, which came with a $24 million payday, was accompanied by its own challenges. Despite having the title of heavyweight champion, Douglas faced overwhelming pressures to maintain his status, which would soon take a toll on his mental and physical health. The once hungry fighter began to struggle with motivation, and soon after his victory, his weight began to creep up. Health issues emerged as he let himself go, leading many to wonder if he could keep up the rigorous lifestyle of a champion. The spotlight that had once shone brightly on Douglas now seemed to dim. Instead of defending his title with vigor, he was grappling with personal demons. Within a few short years, the heavyweight champion faced weight gain issues, and by the mid-90s, his health had deteriorated so severely that he was rushed to the hospital in a diabetic coma. It was a shocking development for someone who had astonished the boxing world. The echoes of one of the sport's greatest upsets were now overshadowed by whispers of concern about Douglas's well-being. Just 8 months after defeating Tyson, he found himself stripped of his title and grappling with the consequences of a lifestyle that had spiraled out of control. His promising path blurred into obscurity, leading critics to label him as a one-hit wonder, while his journeys highlighted the tough realities athletes face long after their moment under the bright lights. The comeback and its challenges. After the stunning victory over Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas faced a difficult reality. The sweet taste of success quickly turned sour as he struggled with the pressures of fame and the distractions that came with it. Many believed that his win was a fluke, and the expectations only added to his challenges. The weight of the spotlight often felt unbearable, as Douglas fought not just in the ring, but against his own demons. His once relentless dedication to training began to wane, and poor lifestyle choices led to significant weight gain. In a few short years, the champion who had famously dominated Tyson found himself struggling to stay relevant in the sport. It seemed as if Douglas was on a downward spiral, battling both physical and mental obstacles that threatened to derail his career. Determined to reclaim his position, Douglas attempted a comeback, pouring every ounce of his energy into training. But the climb was steep. Each fight became increasingly challenging as he battled fatigue and a body that no longer responded as it once did. The pressure mounted, and every setback weighed heavily on him. Critics doubted his ability to return to form, questioning whether he had the heart and endurance to fight again. Douglas's journey became a testament to resilience, as he faced the harsh reality of starting over in a sport that had a way of tearing down even the greatest champions. Yet, in the depths of these challenges, he discovered a renewed purpose, pushing through the obstacles one day at a time. This journey back to the ring would prove to be one of his fiercest battles yet, teaching him that true strength lies not just in victories, but in the ability to rise again after the fall. Legacy, regrets, and redemption. The legacy of Buster Douglas is a complex tapestry woven with triumph, disappointment, and resilience. Following his stunning victory over Mike Tyson, the world expected Douglas to continue his reign as a heavyweight champion. However, the pressures that came with fame led to struggles that few could foresee. His rapid rise was juxtaposed with a catastrophic decline as he faced significant health and weight issues. Regrets bubbled to the surface, overshadowing the glory of that iconic night. Financial mismanagement and a lack of lasting endorsements left him grappling with insecurity and self-doubt. Douglas's redemption came not just in the ring, but in his efforts to mentor young fighters, sharing invaluable lessons learned from his own experience. Through struggles that encompassed personal health, financial instability, and public perception, Douglas transformed his narrative into one of triumph over adversity. His journey serves as a poignant reminder that legends are not solely defined by their victories or losses, but by their ability to rise again. In a world that often forgets fallen champions, Buster Douglas has forged a path of redemption, emphasizing the importance of dedication, focus, and the relentless pursuit of one's goals. Ultimately, he epitomizes the spirit of resilience, demonstrating that life's challenges can lead to profound personal growth and an impactful legacy, even when overshadowed by past regrets. The lasting impact. The impact of Buster Douglas's victory over Mike Tyson in 1990 resonates beyond the boxing ring, serving as a powerful narrative of resilience, determination, and the unpredictability of life and sports. Douglas was labeled a heavy underdog, yet he faced his fears and emerged triumphant, shocking the world and defying all odds. This single moment not only changed the trajectory of his career, but also became a symbol for anyone striving against adversity. In a sport often dominated by giants, Douglas showed that even the most unlikely fighter could achieve greatness with the right mindset, dedication, and hard work. His journey is a testament to the idea that, through perseverance, one can rise from the depths of despair to achieve something extraordinary. However, the story doesn't stop there. After that glorious night, Douglas faced significant challenges, battling weight gain, health issues, and the pressures of newfound fame. These struggles highlight the harsh realities that many athletes encounter after their careers, emphasizing that victory in the ring doesn't guarantee success outside of it. Today, as Douglas continues to mentor young fighters and share his story, he embodies the struggle against life's relentless trials. His message remains clear: everyone can bounce back, regardless of how many times they are knocked down. Ultimately, Douglas's legacy extends beyond boxing. He serves as an inspiration for resilience, a reminder that, with determination, anything is possible. Buster Douglas's life story serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of boxing, and indeed, life itself. From achieving the unthinkable, defeating Mike Tyson, to navigating the tumultuous aftermath, Douglas has shown that triumph can be both a blessing and a burden. As he transitioned from champion to a man grappling with health issues, financial struggles, and a fading legacy, he became emblematic of the challenges many athletes face once the spotlight dims. His journey emphasizes that a single night of glory does not define a person's worth, nor does it shield them from the trials that await. Douglas's resilience in returning to the ring demonstrated his unwillingness to be merely a footnote in the history books, as he sought to reclaim his identity outside the shadows of his infamous victory. Through mentoring young fighters and sharing his narrative, he has turned his struggles into lessons for a new generation. Furthermore, as Douglas faces the realities of aging and health challenges, he remains a symbol of persistence, proving that the true measure of a champion lies not just in victories, but in the ability to stand up and fight once more, regardless of the odds. His life may have been marked by one unforgettable evening, yet it is the myriad battles fought long after that single fight that truly define the man. In a world quick to judge based on fleeting moments, Buster Douglas teaches us that every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every champion has a story well beyond the arena.